Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're talking no, I'm not talking like that. Shiza. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking in that voice, screw you. I was like, oh, let's do a little bit of a how should I say this? A low smooth voice. And I'm like, no, screw it. I'm just going to talk in the normal annoying voice that I have. Okay. We're back with another nation server video. Today we're talking about the what is this war about? This is like the 5th war I'm in. Oh yeah, the last day of Avalon. The last Avalonian day, or I should say. Now, you might be looking at this map and you're like, Muhammad, where's Avalon? I mean, you're not wrong. But Avalon's still there in the same area that it was, but it has a different flag flying above it. I'll let you guys figure that out. I'll give you guys 5 seconds to know what flag that is. Wrong. Unless you got it right. Good job. That, in fact, is the flag of Azban, which is the coalition, or not coalition, the union between Avalon and Cornelia. Now, this is a lot to take in for you. I understand that. So let's rewind a bit. So, okay, I know this title's misleading. I know, but to understand, so we need to go back to January 22nd, January 2022, and in the continents of Altarion and Columbus, everyone was starving. Avalon had been getting very aggressive towards the newest country in the world, the Empire of the South. This country was poor and had no resources, and Avalon had seen another overseas territories added to its land. And so, the Avalonian destroyer HMS Blitz was stationed off the coast of ETS, with orders to fire at the coast at any time. Cornelia, at this time, was dealing with an internal communist crisis, of whom which Avalon was supporting. Now, Cornelia was busy, and Avalon had its eyes on a tiny little island chain off the coast of Cornelia. Now, this island chain is known as the Waha Islands, because of the native peoples. There's the Waha tribe. Now, as you see here, this little island chain is, in fact, in the... So, if we draw the Avalonian, sea border, I guess, water border, I don't know. My voice crack. There's so much voice crack. I hate this. So, you see, if we do that, the border goes directly under or around the island, and those islands are clearly Venheimian, which belong to this country known as Venheim, who has an overseas territory all the way over there, which I own colonies there too. Bro, everywhere you go, you can't get a break of me, trust. Now, there's been disputes, but the disputes were over, and Avalon at this time wanted that island chain for itself. And so, they're like to Cornelia, yo, what's up, bro? Can I have those islands? You know what Cornelia says? No. Okay. Alright. Negotiations are done. I'm tired. Alright? Time to use gunboat diplomacy. Now, some of you may be asking, what the hell is gunboat diplomacy? Well, you see, my friends, it's when a country brings in a warship and threatens to shoot at the enemy if they don't give what the commander or the country wants. And that's exactly what I did. But I didn't bring a warship. Those guys are for boomers. I brought in an aircraft carrier because you, Cornelia. That island is mine. Screw you. Now, obviously, Cornelia was understandably pissed about this, as you see. So the border goes around the islands, but it still goes to the middle of the ocean, and it's there. My warship was right off the coast of here. I'm in their waters with my own battleship, ready to fire. Not ready to fire, the aircraft carrier, ready with planes to bomb. Now, I just stood there, the ship just stood there for insufferable 3 days, while the Cornelians watched in horror of what was going to happen to them if those planes took off. And they did, but they never dropped their bombs. Let me explain. You remember how I told you that Cornelia was having some internal crises with, like, communist rebels, right? Yeah, those communist rebels were actually a little bit on the side of Cornelia. So when Avalon sent the first bombing squadron over Cornelia and bombed the capital city, the communists were pissed, because now they had no country to fight for, as they told me. Now, we've had this, I've talked a lot with the leader of the communist rebels, which is, Tyrant 101, or known as Randall on Discord. And we talked it out a bit, and I'm like, alright, how about if I repair Cornelia for you? Will you just stop doing that? And he's like, okay. I rebuild the capital of Cornelia after destroying it. Do you know how stupid that sounds? You destroy something and then you rebuild it. That's so dumb. Why would you destroy it in the first place to rebuild it again? It works. They go back to fighting. But my aircraft carrier, it doesn't move. It's still in that same position. Avalon then does something really, really risky. They give one of their most prized battleships over to Venheim in case of a Cornelian attack. Okay, Venheim takes it. Okay, thank you. Now, it's been 5 days. The island is still under Cornelian hands, and I'm getting pissed because I don't have what I want in my hands. And so, gunboat diplomacy's over. Now, the War of the Island, the War of the Islands, which is known today, is one of the most shortest wars in history, only lasting for a day. Now, you gotta understand, there was only one fort situated on the capital island, which is that little thing there. One fort protecting an entire island. And that fort got decimated against my troops. Now, the landings began from the day began with scout planes going over the island, checking it out, just seeing if it's right to invade. They circle around. The Cornelians do nothing. The Cornelians just sit there because they didn't want to shoot, because for an act of they didn't want an act of retaliation. So, in a nutshell, in a war, they didn't want to attack the enemy. The scout planes go back to the aircraft carrier, and I, as the most supreme ruler of the world, I have the largest my country has the most money in total, and we we made the first class Mitsubishi Zeros 060s, fastest planes with insufferable a lot of fuel to waste. And so three Mitsubishis or Zeros 060s fly from the aircraft carrier over the island. Now the Cornelians are like, oh, this is the same scout planes, but no. The Zeros go in for dive. They go into a dive position, like in perpendicular bombing, like the Stukas in World War II. Now, they start going at the fort. Now, the Cornelians are kind of puzzled about this, and they're like, huh, that's weird. Now, the Zeros are equipped with a fuel tank and a bomb. Okay? And a bomb. Many of them have torpedoes, but we'll not talk about that. Now, they also have 16 round of... it's 55 rounds of ammunition for machine guns. They also have 10 rounds of ammunition for the tail gunner. Now, they start going in for a dive. Now, they don't drop their bombs. They drop their fuel tanks, which makes them become more agile and more faster in the air. And so, they open fire with their machine guns. Right there. At the fort. I cannot tell you how shocked the Cornelians were. Because I wasn't there. I was one of the pilots, but we'll worry about that later. Once the minor damage was done, they pull back up, not dropping their bombs. They will not drop their bombs for a while. They start circling around the fort while the Cornelians get back on their feet and man the anti-air, the AA guns. Flak opens up in the air. Heavy flak. Like, I am not joking. They start pounding the air with flak, with pretty much shells. Yeah, and at that point, when I see the shells, I'm like, oh, they're fucked. Yeah, they're screwed. There is no... time to go plan their funerals. But no, these, the pilots are skilled, and they start dodging the flak as much as they can. They then go above the clouds so that the flak won't see them and won't be able to reach them. They start flying over the island. They then go over to the nearest air base, which is in Venheim, which holds some fucker wolves. That's not a curse word, I'm sorry. That's not a curse word, it's just a type of aircraft. Now, they refuel and they get back up in the... Once that's done, the the Zeros they come back to the island, but this time the Cornelians are prepared and they start opening up flak again. This time, for some reason, it's lighter flak because I don't know, they ran out of shells or something. They're too poor. Now that's when my Zeros come into play. They can easily go through light flak, and so they go into dive bomb. They dive really, like the slope of that is at least. So if we're gonna do slope, at least it's gonna be 9/2. 9/2. That's gonna be the slope. 9/2, which we can't simplify that, but the slope is 9/2. Wait, let me see what, 1 second, let me calculate what is, it's because, let's sound more professional here. The slope. This is such a weird video I'm making. Okay, so 4.5. The slope is 4.5. Now, they come into a slope of 4.5, and they start diving down. They then, after getting at least like 3, 4, 5, 10 feet off the ground, they drop their bombs. Sand and dust explodes everywhere. The fort is completely decimated. Now, most of the damage has been done, and so the planes get back to base, and then Avalon calls their destroyer HMS Rods, which is off the coast of Dominica, right there, to the island. Now, the Rod is really doesn't have that much fuel, so it cannot come as fast. It's not gonna come that fast. It has to preserve enough fuel. And so once we hear that, like, okay, you stay. We have an aircraft carrier. You're good. Now, this was the easy part. The aircraft carrier, HMS Destroyer, brings down life rafts, giant life rafts. Like, these can at least hold up 10 people per person, and these start moving slowly towards the shore. In that time that it took for the life rafts to hit the shore, the Cornelians had time to prepare a little bit. They mounted machine guns on top, and they made small little bunkers to protect themselves from the machine gun fire that's going to be coming from for agonizing minutes. It was so slow that you could probably I got a sandwich and I came back and it was still going on. I don't know. And finally, after 5 minutes, they hit the shore, and machine gun immediately starts. The guys that got out of the raft, many of them didn't survive. They died on the beaches. Well, D-Day landings, part 2, D-Day landings. Now, the machine guns were quickly overwhelmed because we had something called Blitzkrieg, and that involves intensive lightning warfare, which uses a lot of Zeros bombing the area and pounding their defenses to dust. And then we have the 7th Panzer Division, and we have the artillery support of our carrier, which is Haubitzen. I'm joking. We don't have the 7th Panzer Division. That's all the way. We don't even have Panzer, do we? We don't have Panzers. Okay. Alright, just had to clear that up. We don't have any Panzers. That's wonderful. Now, as the shooting continued, remember, they need to reload. These are machine guns we're talking about. They might shoot fast at first, but then reloading them is like a pain in my butt. I don't know. It's not I'm slow, or it's just that it's hard. But I can tell you, 2 minutes it took for them to reload the gun. By then, everyone was on shore, and they were pushing in with their semi-automatic rifles, and they start sieging, like encircling bunkers, most of which weren't taken. Most of the bunkers weren't taken because the Cornelians were somehow skilled at this. Now, we first have the rebellion, the communism rebellion in Cornelia, and now this landing on the Waha island chain. What's next? Oh yeah, invasion of Cornelia. I'm joking, we're not doing that again. I'm tired of doing that crap. Now, we take the defenses and we start pushing towards the capital of the Waha Island chain. And with intense bombing raids and shelling from nearby nearby frigates, the island chains fall into Avalonian hands. Now this stays that way for a few days, as Cornelia deals with the rebellions, and the rebellions come out victorious, turning the Republic of Cornelia to the communist states of Cornelia. That was the name. Now, even though Avalon supported the rebellion, the communists hated us because we had taken the Waha Island chain. We've bombed their capital city to dust. We've taken the town of Shang in the last naval war that we had. They're pissed at mostly me. And so they break off their alliance, and I'm like, why, blah, blah, and we have this diplomacy for a few days. We got some new players, we got some new crap, new technology, new guns. The largest gun exporter in the world is the communist states of Cornelia, and it still is today, but it's Asban. Now, just a few days ago, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I wonder what this is. And I wonder if I can take it. And so I'm like, oh, Venheim, I want that. Gimme. Mine. And Venheim's obviously like, no, that's my only colony. And I'm like, well, screw you, I'm gonna take it anyway. And I start preparing for an invasion. And then Cornelia decides to come in, and he's like, I'm allying with you, bro. And Venheim and Cornelia are right on top of me, and they're just gonna obliterate me. And I am very distressed about this. I am not happy. I am about to piss my pants. I'm joking. I'm not. And so I tried to make diplomacy with them, but they're all like, no, the entire world hates you. You have gone against so many people. You have gone against the world, and you have come out victorious. Everyone hates you. People have lost land, people have lost their lives, and people have lost their resources. And I'm just sitting there like, excuse me, it's not my problem they're poor. And they declare war on me, and for a few days I'm just like, okay, chill. We can chill here. We're friends. We're not enemies, okay? And you know what Cornelia says? Cornelia says, no, you've stationed your largest battleship off the coast of my waters. You've taken my island chain. You've humiliated my people. There's no mercy for you. I'm sorry. Go ask Dredd there, who was trying to assassinate me, and then you're telling me that I start war for no reason. You ungrateful. Alright, I'm getting really angry right now. I got angry, and didn't end that well. But we came to this agreement that Cornelia and Avalon should form a union, making it the Empire of Asban. And I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And so war was over between Cornelia. I don't know, Venheim, at least. We're gonna go to war with Venheim soon. Island chains are under both of our control because we have two kings, Randall and me, two capitals, which is the capital Cornelia and the capital of Avalon. And yeah, that's pretty much the history of the world in these past few months. I'm sorry if I have not been uploading. I've been dying. I got a 90. I've been studying though. I've been studying for my test, so I hope you're proud of me. I got a 91 on my math test for a few days. Yeah. I'm proud of that. I don't know why I'm so happy. Alright, boys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, subscribe. We want those subbers. I actually have 39 subscribers. Like, Jesus Christ. If I get like 50 at least, I'm gonna be happy. But help me get to 50 subs. And yeah, go to school.